Okay, so this is part two of me drawing my original characters from a new comic that I'm working on called Dispatch Punk. Dispatch Punk. It's weird because you want to break it down and say Dispatch Punk, but I think I just said it like dis- Dispatch Punk. I'm gonna edit this out. Anywho, this is part two of me drawing my original characters from my new comic that I'm working on, a short story called Dispatch Punk. These are the sketches I was working on earlier. I finally got something down that looks halfway decent, right? I'm actually going to turn the inks off on there and turn back the opacity back up. Okay, so that's the sketch layer. Three main characters. The anatomy still looks a little bit, awkward on some of the characters, but hey, unless you try to draw, the things that are difficult for you as an artist, you won't ever improve or get better. So you might as well go for it, or at least that's how I see it. It's not perfect by any means, but it's better than nothing. That's definitely an improvement to me. Um, oops. So I'm going to probably move these. Uh, whoops. Move these characters around a little bit. So he's gonna be kind of like behind her, more like up there somewhere. Ty is going to come over here. And I don't know why, but I have Emmy's hand doing something weird. Um, her left hand, it's supposed to be like flared out some, but it's kind of, I don't know. It looks awkward. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. All right, so her hand is out like that. I don't know what I was trying to go for. I was trying to go for like a cool pose as if she had like some powers coming at her hand, but it just looks awkward. Um, which I kind of want to erase. I think I am going to erase it and just do something else here because it just looks super weird. Like, why would your hand be out doing that, right? If you're just standing in a pose. I think I'll go for like maybe a fist or just kind of like a normal, like hand open kind of deal. I don't know. Um, okay, so if that still looks like kind of weird, but all right, if your hand were kind of like open, like this, oops, and then your pinky, ooh, that's kind of a big pinky, or like a weird looking pinky. Kind of awkward, right? Okay. I think it's the angle in which that looks weird. All right. So, in the last video, I think I was telling you guys about the story, about what it's about. Um, I think I talked about my goals a little bit, but if not, I will kind of maybe reiterate some things. But basically, I'm drawing this as a way to improve my storytelling, comic storytelling, comic art slash just getting better at making art in general. Because for a long time, I just didn't really practice pretty much art at all. It kind of was just like if I was in the mood for it, I'd do it. Um, but since I am trying to actively pursue doing art again, um, on a professional level, I guess you could say, I am trying to actively do things to become a better artist. And I think that's kind of what you pretty much have to do. I think anybody would do if they were an artist. Um, if you don't practice, you don't get better. I had a coach in high school. I played volleyball, who used to say to the team, um, I hope I get this right, but I might mess it up. He used to say, there's no such thing as practice makes perfect. Only perfect practice makes perfect play, or something like that. I don't know. He used to say like something of that nature to us. But to me, I take that as like as as an adult now, kind of like looking back on like all the things that the adults in your life kind of like bestow upon you as young people, um, is that there's no such thing as a perfect thing, right? Um, you can strive towards perfection, and that's fine as long as it's not like some sort of weird toxic uh, relationship that you have with trying to be perfect. Because at the end of the day, nobody's perfect. We're not perfect beings. We were never meant to be perfect beings. So nothing that we make is going to be perfect, but we can strive towards it. There's nothing wrong with that. Um, I think having a healthy relationship with striving towards perfection is fine, I guess. But I think as long as you have the drive and the will to want to become better in whatever it is that you're pursuing as a person, whether it's art or something else, maybe you have a goal of that you're trying to achieve. Just you can definitely do it. You just have to be willing to um, continue to strive to get better, and don't beat yourself up too much because, like I said, nothing is perfect in this world, and you, as long as you're happy, I feel like if you're happy with the results, that's all that matters. Um, do it for you. Do it for the little kid in you. I feel like we all have kind of like that uh, childlike. Um, I don't know if I want to say wonder, but like childlike dreams, like the things that you thought, man, this definitely is possible. Like when you were a kid, um, there you kind of have like that wonder still in you, like anything's possible. It's not until adulthood that you're like, oh man, I'm beat up because of life, and you start doubting yourself. You start second guessing and going, oh man, is this in the realm of possibility for myself? I don't know. um, but that's one of the reasons why I personally like creating graphic novels and stories for kids, is because they still, to me, I feel like children have that wonder inside of their hearts of like anything's possible. They have that kind of magical belief that they can suspend disbelief basically a lot easier than adults can, I feel like. And I feel like we all need a little bit of that in our lives. We all need to kind of still dream and still have that wonder in our eyes, of anything is possible. And I really believe that anything is possible. You just have to work towards it, work hard, and not give up. And we all have moments where we doubt, whether we're able to do something or if it's at all possible to realize a dream. But um, it's very, very much possible if you continue to work towards it. Man, how did I get on that topic? like, like getting all serious about, you know, dreams and realizing things. So right now, anyway, back to the drawing. I'm just looking at some references because I'm a little bit stuck. So I noticed that the foot for the character is the foot that was here, the left foot looked really out of the perspective. Like this is supposed to be like an overhead shot of the camera like looking down on these characters. Now, I don't think I did like the best job at drawing that. I used a reference, but it's still a little wonky because as the camera's looking down, like everything up top should be bigger, and then as you get closer to the feet of the character, everything should start to kind of like get smaller and kind of like, I don't know if point in is the right word to use, but like point inward ish. I don't know. Don't listen to me. I'm not an expert on perspective. Um, but I am trying to uh, make this thing work. Trying to look up some different angles of other examples of an overhead shot. And man, I had some good ones last night, and I tried to save them to like my Pinterest page. And I'm looking through, and I'm like, what did I save? What did I reference last night to draw this character? Because it's not here anymore. I should have saved that pin. Ah, oh well. Okay, I see one that looks kind of decent. Like I could, oops, like I could work with it. So I might just try to draw this. So one thing I want to try to do more of when I draw is to kind of like stay as sketchy as possible. I feel like when I start drawing things that get sketchy, I'm able to kind of like visualize a little bit better about how the final drawing should look. Like sometimes, like when I was in college, I remember when I was in art college, a lot of times I would draw and I'd like bear down so heavy with my pencil on paper that a lot of times the drawing looked like I was trying to finish a piece without even like doing an undersketch. And so I kind of tried to finalize my art a little too early, I think. And that would make it a lot harder to like erase and change things and try different angles and whatnot. So as I've been practicing in the last few, I'd say over the last few years, but also just in the last year, I'm trying my best to stay as sketchy as possible. That way, I have room to kind of like work with the drawing a little more, to change things or to visualize how they should technically look. Mm, this still looks weird, but it looks better than it did in the last one. So I'm just gonna kind of like go with it. All right. Yeah, that looks way better. Um, I think I'm gonna make it so that the bagginess of the clothes right here, the pants, goes over the tongue of the sneaker. Because technically, in the original sketch for this, that's what you don't really see the tongue of the sneaker on him Emmy's foot. All right, I'm back, and Okay, I think that looks a lot better. And the hand looks a little bit better too. Still a little bit weird and awkward, but better than it was. Um, this other foot is not doing what I need it to do necessarily. I think it's because of the angle as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and correct that as well. Um, I don't know, for whatever reason in my brain, like when I look at other artists and inspiration for like this, like illustrations and things like that, especially like you guys know when like you'll see your favorite comic artist, whether they're like a mangaka or um a comic artist, you know, from the West, like in American comic books and things, you'll see like the art of, you know, fill in the blank, whatever your favorite comic artist is. And sometimes I'll just look at their illustrations and go, man, I wonder how many hours it took for them to like finish this, or not even to finish the final. How many hours did it take them to sketch what they wanted? Sometimes I'm like drawing and I'm like, man, it's taking me way too long. Like I want to be able to pump out like a bunch of different um like sketches and things like that. But I guess that's why it's called patience. You gotta kind of work with yourself. Can't rush greatness, right? So, but yeah, I do kind of wonder like how long did it take them to get this down, like, because I feel like I've been working on this sketch. Well, I mean, it's only been a day. I shouldn't complain really. It's not like I've been working on this for like 5 days straight, but still, I kind of wonder like, because I want to like do a bunch of these, or at least like a good 4 or 5 different uh sketches here for this comic, or illustrations pretty much. So I just kind of want to like get them done, get them out there so that I can move on to the next one. But it's not a fast process. I don't know. I think what I'm going to do is just sketch this the way I think it's supposed to look the uh based on the reference that I'm using, and then I will probably use the move tool to move it around in the space. Okay, that kind of looks like it's better. It's still weird, if that makes sense, or awkward. Because from this angle, I'm not even sure that you'd see the tongue, like, of the shoe. Because, like, if I moved it up here, I'll say working digitally definitely can save a lot more time. It's fun, and you can easily manipulate things. But working traditionally is good because you definitely need to develop those skills. Like when I was in college, I used to do everything by hand because I didn't have like a Cintiq or a tablet. Like I don't like when I was in college, I don't remember like iPads being like super huge as far as that being the main like piece of technology that people worked on. Like mind you, I graduated from art school in 2015. So I mean that's like, you know, 10 years ago pretty much. So of course technology has changed since then. Yeah, iPads were not really used like heavily when I was in college. if anything, Cintiqs were all the rage. Like, if you had a Cintiq, first of all, you must have had a little dough on the side there. Um, but I will say, um, iPads started becoming more popular, like when Procreate and everything started becoming a thing. Like back then, I had just been introduced to. I used to use Photoshop mainly to do like digital stuff, and that's kind of like what the school provides for you too. Is Photoshop when you go to the computer labs at the library, or there are a couple computer labs inside of some of the buildings. um, and um, yeah, you just didn't really work mobile. Like you were always on some sort of PC or like a Cintiq. I had my little bamboo Wacom tablet or Wacom, however you pronounce it. I don't know. And I used that for a long time. I still have like one of the, I can't remember what, Intuos, I think I want to say Intuos pads I used to draw on. Right now I'm working on an XP pen tablet or display. So, and I just got this like last year for Christmas. So, um, yeah, and I was using Procreate a lot more before I got this, which Procreate's really great too. I like that program. All right, so now that I've pseudo fixed the feet, that right foot still looks like it's not quite where it needs to be, but it might have to work for now. Like, if anything, it's more so about where the foot is pointing. And I might just erase or undo this in a minute here, anyways, just because I'm tired of drawing this over and over. I want to be, I want it to be, I want it to look good, but also be done. Uh, okay. I don't know. That's it's about the same. All right. So this is the sketch as a whole. Main three characters of the comic together. So I kind of already started working on the inks yesterday because I was just so excited that I was done with the sketch. Go ahead and save that. Um, the inks I might just show you guys because I don't have a whole lot of time with the recording here. But I might just go ahead and ink and add in the sped up version of me inking from Clip Studio Paint. Um, but yeah, so these are the inks so far. I'm gonna turn the opacity down on this so you can kind of see. I'm kind of going for a thicker outline on the outside of the character. I use the monoline brush for that. And then on the inside, I was trying to stick to this pen that I found that I really liked. and I can't remember. I think I might have got it off of or out of the Clip Studio Paint, I don't know, library where you can get sometimes free brushes and things. You can also use your points, I think, to like pay for brushes that people make. But I found this one brush that I don't know. I like the oops, wrong layer. I like the way it looks. So I was trying to. Oh, that looks awkward. Undo that. So I was trying to stick with it. You know what? We're just gonna do something with that later. Um, but yeah. So I'm gonna continue inking here for as long as I can. This video is gonna be kind of like a little long. I hope it's not too long, but if it is, I will cut it down to at least like 20 minutes or less, maybe 30 minutes or less. Just kind of depends. But yeah, so I think the last thing I was talking about before I open up this layer is talking about how when I was in college we used Cintiqs, and um, that was kind of like the popular way to digitally ink things if you wanted to do digital stuff. But because I mean, other than going to the computer lab, I didn't have like a tablet. And when I was in college, I was not used to drawing on like the normal little bamboo tablets that I had, like that you could just plug in via USB to your computer or your laptop. Like it just, I always felt like this weird disconnect with drawing because I couldn't like, you'd look up at the screen, but your hand is down here drawing on the pad. There was always a weird disconnect for me, so I never really could get the hang of that. I mean, I'm a little better at it now because I've used it for so long, but I still don't like prefer it, to be honest. So I personally um did a lot of things traditional. Uh Plus I had like college professors who kind of just were like, yeah, some of the stuff that you guys turn in just needs to be um traditional. Some things I feel like I remember like a couple assignments where they were like, yeah, turn in something traditional with this, blah blah blah. Later on, if you want to do digital for your final assignment, you can. Yeah, I used to go to the computer lab to scan my huge 11 by 17 Bristol board pages, and then I would sometimes go to like for final projects and stuff, especially because the computer lab would be full of people. You couldn't like get there. Sometimes you could go and pay for it at the FedEx that was like down the street from the dorms. Yeah, there's that. All right, so in this last minute before my clip finishes recording, oh my goodness, I forgot that she has a strap that goes around her shoulder. Oh, I'll draw that in later. You'll see me add that another time. Um, but yeah, let me just end on this since I only have like a minute left. Um, Boom, boom. I'm gonna ink this and color it. And yeah, you will see the final product at some point at the end of this video, which is coming up now. So thanks for joining me. You can subscribe to the channel for more things like this where I'm sharing my art and more about my comic story. And yeah, thanks for checking it out. I appreciate it. And till next time, everyone, keep believing in your dreams and don't give up. And remember, perfect practice makes perfect play. I don't know if that's good advice, but anyways, just remember nothing's perfect. That's all I'm saying. All right, so long. Till next time.